Well, hello there, good night to you all. So, this will be my review for the episode 10 of Suisei no Gargantia. And this is an interesting episode because we do have some character evolution and we have some story progression in several ways. So, first of all, this episode starts with Lido coming from under the sea, still shocked by all that he found on the last episode about or, the the origin of the ideology, how they are made, and that basically they are um, uh, evolved human species, or they are one of the evolved forms that derives from the human species human species through experiments, DNA manipulation, and so on. Uh, and he's trying to understand this because he's seeing in his mind, he's seeing the ideology, and he sees them as humans or evolved form of humans. And this confront, this shock, kinda goes very deep inside Lido, and Lido's spirit. In a way, we could say that his spirit was broken because his mind was shattered, because he lose the goal for fighting momentarily. Uh, he feels that he that all his life was a fabricated lie, and that he was fighting evolved form of the human race. So all that he knew about himself, about history himself, and so on, it's not correct. So this kind of shatters Lido's spirit and his mind. And during the time he is broken, we have the evolution, we have Pinion, and we learn from Flange or Captain Flange that after it appears to me that the fleet that break away from Gargantia is in fact being controlled by Pinion, because even Captain Flange kind of says that a great deal of shipmasters or sub-captains of this Captain Flange are following Pinion and are switching their loyalty from Flange to Pinion. So in some way, we could almost say that Pinion kinda did pull out a coup d'etat inside the breakaway fleet, and apparently he is not the fleet commander, but he is like he was the fleet commander because the shipmasters and the captains of the ships basically are following Pinion and his lead with the hope to discover new treasures and so on. And then we have a division, a breakaway point also between Flange and Pinion, because Flange is kind of sinking um, in a way similar to Fleet Commander Fairlock. They are from the same generation, so uh, and Captain Flange, Fleet Commander Flange, is kind of thinking that they need to exchange information, exchange the technology they are discovering, and so on. And Pinion does not agree. And in fact, Pinion says that he will send the ultimatum to all the seas, saying that any that tries to came to this place, their ships will be sunk and destroyed. So Pinion is kind of taking a very aggressive stance on this, and we see that this broadcast kind of reach Gargantia, and we have some reactions. The Bridget is kind of struggling to reorganize the fleet, and she is talking with two of the other pod captains or sub captains, and they are kind of saying that there are even in Gargantia there are some shipmasters that are eventually sinking, break away by themselves from the fleet and go to the place where Pinion is. And the guy with the mustache, the small mustache, kind of asks Bridget what she will do on that circumstances, and she says that, well, if they choose that way, I will not stop them. They are free to choose their own fate. It's not exactly these words, but it's the meaning behind it. And then we see Amy, that is depressing. Uh, we see the doctor treating Barrel, and we see also the other friend of Amy, and they were in shock because they learned that the whale speed nest was destroyed and so on. And then we have pirates attack, and Pinion kinda is commanding a warship and is kinda using some technology he recover from under the water, and he kinda is able to shoot a beam cannon. Um, but that's the question. How can they have that technology if it was implied in the series that they lose the knowledge how to use that technology or to access that technology? Or is someone in the fleet of Captain Flange, similar like the Doctor of Gargantia, that knew some information about lost technology and so on? But they use a beam cannon, and they kind of wiped out the pirates, and then the pirates kind of surrendered, and then the pirates kind of asked Pinion if they could join the fleet, and initially Pinion does not see that useful, but then he realizes that he could have a big fleet under his command, and then he accepts the pirates to join the fleet. So uh, basically, Pinion is kind of acting as a fleet commander, and I don't see this ending in a very good situation or in a very good point, because personally I don't think that Pinion is so capable how to lead men, and even less to lead the fleet. He could be a good salvage captain and so on, but I don't see him with the abilities to control a fleet. Especially if he simply accepts pirates, and at the end of the episodes we see a weird group of ships appearing or coming to this place with strange markings on the face and so on. And Lido kinda, after Chamber speaking with Lido, because Chamber also, Lido is doubting why he should fight, and Chamber explains that we need to fight because we are the representatives of mankind. The Ideasi are no longer human. He, those, he says that they become a superior existence, and he makes a lot of conjectures and so on, and he kind of restores in a way the the spirit of Lido, because Chamber also explains that all these conclusions he achieved them through analysis of the situations and of the information and so on, because he already lost the connection with the Galactic Alliance. So this is interesting, and then we see those these word fleet appearing, and Chamber kind of says that they detect, or he detects, Galactic Alliance technology and so on, and then Lido kind of uses a scope or something like that, and we see a very big ship, very strange ship with another chamber, and Lido kind of recognizes him as the chamber of his commander that stay behind uh, on the first battle against the Ideasi. So apparently the chamber of the commander also came to Earth. I don't know if the commander survived, but the machine is on Earth. So, and also an important part is that Pinion is kind of discovering several beam weapons and beam cannon weapons and so on in this base, that we actually know that this was a former capital of the site where the Ideals experiments were conducted, and that there were huge battle around this area and so on. So they, in that area, they have a lot of military technology that was used on the past. So if Pinion can get his hands to all this military technology, well, I don't. That's it. I don't think that Pinion possess the capacity or the abilities to have this kind of weaponship, to have it under control, or to command a fleet. So, or eventually, Flange kinda strikes Pinion down, or the decisions of Pinion of accepting pirates and so on turn against him, and he ends up being killed. That will not be so. That will not surprise me. Or eventually he is forced to flee, and eventually Lido saves the fleet from destruction and so on, and then they will rejoin Gargantia. Well, these are some predictions, but honestly, I fear if Pinion gets his hands on more military technology that was used in the past, and that it's the basic structures to build the ideals or building chambers. I kinda fear that if Pinion is put down, or if some of the pirates or so on kinda take over the fleet, they will have a pretty insane war fleet, and so I don't know. But this episode was very interesting. We have story progression, we have also character development. This time by Chamber, it's very interesting. Uh, Lido also, but essentially Chamber. And even Pinion. Uh, So hope you enjoyed this review. Stay well and peace.